Here we go. Oh no. Escape the sewer, done that. Ow? Why is he always... Because, like, he comes in, same as last time, he came in, and then we found him attached to this web kind of thing. I wonder why. Oh shit. Oh god, hello. You know what? I'm not sure this is actually helping. So let's just stick with the regular. Oh, grenade. Whoa, you're back up. He's back up again, I don't believe it. He gets knocked down, and he gets up again. Oh, fuck. Okay, the blood rounds seem to be doing more damage, honestly, you know? They really do. Okay, can I get some heals going on here, please? Transfusion, thank you. There he is. Reload. Transfuse.
Hold retreat. Hold retreat.
Okay, okay. Decent start.
We need reinforcements. Forward.
He's gone this way. Okay, that was an alright start. I'm guessing we can't save, but I'm gonna fucking check just in case. That's not the right button. Oh, well, I guess we can drop this. Offload. Empty blood bags we can offload. Oh, it's the high capacity one. Feels bad. Auto arrange what we've got. Confirm.
Where are you?
System. No, yeah, can't save. Makes sense. Fuck. Low. It makes sense, but at the same time, fuck.
Where's my baby?
Right fucking here, mate. Reload. Nice.
We need reinforcements.
Ow. Okay. This is going pretty alright. Let's pick up all of these. What the fuck? He's already found me? Oh no. Oh, is that him? That's him. Reload. Badly need to heal, man. Badly need to heal. Can I use those crypto biotes to insta-heal? I forget how they work. Here they are. Can I eat them? Yes, they insta-heal. Sweet. Perfect. Oh god, reload. Okay.
We need reinforcements. Forward.
I need more blood bags is what I need, and more crypto biotes. Yeah, well, I was born to deliver parcels, and I'm winning, so food for thought, mate. Maybe you should look into another line of work. Let me get some more crypto biotes. That was precarious, that one. Okay, he's over this way, it seems. Hi. Oh. Whoa, that's an RPG. Fucking hell, lad.
Get down!
Yes, got him. Are we done? Please tell me we're done. I think we did it. I think we did it. Oh, we did it. Yes, first try. Yes! Suck it, Clifford. Now, last time he went for my BB, we saw another flashback, and we appeared back in the real world. Is it going to be a similar situation here, or are we going to find out some actual information about you, aside from the fact that you're this BB's dad?
Maybe. That is
It's all my fault. I should never have put you in that prison.
Got an A for it. From the report on the Void Out in Manhattan 1, 2, and 3. Oh, man. Oh. Why is he... I feel like... I don't know if there's... I assume there must be more to it. I mean, I'd like to know how he's actually managing to do all these things he's doing, like controlling these soldiers and all these wires coming out of him and everything that's going on. I want to know, like, the background to him and everything. But I'm wondering if there's anything more to it than just, he is this baby's dad, he wants his child back kind of thing. Whether that's his motivation in a nutshell, or whether there's some bigger thing at play here, or I want to... He's such an interesting character, and I know fuck all about him. He just... Obviously, Mads is just one of the best actors working today, and like, he just seems so mysterious and cool, I guess, and interesting, and God, I hope they give us more information about him. Please, I beg of you. A what? Oh, phew. Oh my... No, never mind. Okay, it was a dream. Oh, fuck me. That made me jump hard. That made me actually jump. God damn it. Okay, you alright this time, BB? Okay, phew.
Lou, how's little Lou doing? No response. Well, look at that. That child's taking a shine to me. You two were out cold, so I had you brought here. You were right. Whatever you did back there returned us to our own world. I put your cargo and gear in your private box. You slept for a whole day, you know. Slept like the dead. I'm already back in Capital Knot. Fragile's beach has been coming in handy. Sam, I owe you an apology. Lou was the name you were going to give your own baby if he'd had made it. I should have pieced it together sooner. Don't know what you're talking about. I found some records from 10 years ago. A death, sudden, in the middle of a town. Young woman in the prime of her life. Nobody knew until it was too late. A void out. Her husband, who was a member of Bridges, had dooms. He tried, but he couldn't get to her in time. The whole town was wiped off the map, leaving nothing but a big crater and him. Because he was a repatriate. People wanted answers. Did the man hide his wife's body on purpose? The only survivor was the only suspect. He was easy to blame, and people did. And pretty soon, they were blaming Bridges too. The man felt responsible, so he left. And his wife, who died, her name was Lucy. She'd been pregnant, poor woman. They were going to name their son Lou.
Didn't happen.
But it did. President Strand told me. She talked about you all the time. He didn't have to cut all ties and walk away, she said.
You wanna shut the fuck up?
Calm down, Sam. Take a seat. I told you before about my body. 70% harvested from cadavers. Do you want to know the real reason why? Because the story you've heard is one I made up. The truth is, I'm Frankenstein's monster. Artificial, grown from pluripotent stem cells. And when that vital spark didn't manifest in all my organs, they replaced the defective ones with those of the dead. I never had a birthday. I'm a soulless meat puppet. No ka, a dead man. People born the traditional way have beaches. You have one. BB too. But I have no such connections. No mother, no afterlife, no beach. You see now why I'm so obsessed with it all? Why I joined Bridges? The battlefield. Now that was an awful beach. But strangely, I didn't hate it, because I knew you were coming for me. I've never felt that before. Connected to someone, anyone. You didn't have to cut all ties and walk away. The president was right about that much.
Wasn't anything to walk away from. It's not like I was ever welcome there.
Come on, even I was welcome. Oh, that. You were holding it. It's an old dog tag, US issue. Wasn't easy prying it out of your hand. Clifford Unger, as you can see. I looked him up in our database. Found a match. He was US Army Special Forces. Fought in Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan.
That's him.
Well, that's all I've managed to dig up so far. You must be caked in chiral matter from the battlefield. Time for a shower, I'd say. Oh, I won't be joining you this time. The Die Hardman issue is no longer a concern. I've seen to it that our conversations won't be recorded.
Sweet. Interesting. Okay, so we've positively identified him, which will make it a hell of a lot easier to find information about him. The only option we have is take... Okay, no, we can do this stuff, but we need to take a shower. So, let's do so.
Sam, do you copy? As you might have suspected, time here stopped while you two were on that battlefield. If my thinking is correct, the dimension to which you traveled is a kind of beach. To explain a little, our bodies, our ha, all occupy the same world, but our souls, our ka, have beaches all their own. These beaches are given form inside our brains by our beliefs, religion, philosophy, and so forth. As a result, A beach can be anything, and those anythings form a multiverse. However, if many people die at once, their beaches can become entangled, creating a strand field. This phenomenon is exacerbated in wartime by omnipresent feelings of resentment and despair. Beaches are more easily and frequently entangled. On such a beach, exits vanish and experiences cycle endlessly. Picture it like a record player. The needle skips, playing the same phrase again and again. They're fighting a battle that has no beginning or end. Round and round it goes. Now, the battlefield you visited was in Eastern Europe in World War II. Which is strange, given that the man you encountered, Clifford Unger, played no part in that conflict. I can't explain it, but if you can connect me to the chiral network, who knows what we might discover.
Perfect.
Still there, Sam? If so, I have a request.
Come and connect you
When
up.
you're ready, head upstairs to the delivery terminal.
I'm guessing. New order for Sam in Mountain Knot City. Damn, man. Crazy shit occurring. We must surely be going to connect him up soon. Like, he's one of the main characters, and we haven't even met him face to face yet. And it's like episode 7, we must be a long way into the game by now. Okay, now I'm looking fly. Let's finally catch up with all these emails and stuff. First of all, though, let's... oh my god, I've got 10 of them. Oh, and new music. Lovely. I never did connect up more people. I've only connected with the 10 people we did. View own records, is that what I'm looking for? Total playtime, 32 hours, 22 minutes. Wonder how much longer. I feel like we've still got a good way to go, which is good because I'm loving it. Okay, the roboticist. Are humans all that important? Couldn't stay away, huh? Glutton for punishment, I reckon. Then let me bore you a little more. I told you before about drone syndrome and delivery dependence, right? Turns out there's an interesting little theory that both might be reactions to, against might be a better way of putting it, the possibility of the singularity. Humans didn't want to stop being human, and the Death Stranding, that was mankind's last-ditch attempt to retain its sense of self. We caused it somehow, because we couldn't bear the thought of losing our identity. Makes a sort of sense, no? Humans have beaches, humans become BTs, humans cause void outs. It all comes back to us. We die, sure, but at least we die with a bang, not a whimper. Maybe our next step should be to try and make the singularity happen for real. Get rid of us once and for all. I mean, I don't actually think that way. You know I don't. But sometimes I can almost see the logic in it. What's the measure of a man? What's the value in fighting tooth and nail to keep him around? Is it ever too much? Can't help wondering. I tell you, I'd hate to die and come back as a BT and stir up trouble. Better to be rid of the flesh, don't you think, Sam? Maybe? The Mountaineer, in order. Me and my wife are good, but need a little something. Dear Sam, my wife is doing great now, and it's all thanks to you. You couldn't have demonstrated more clearly the type of support the UCA has to offer. I don't know much about the chiral network, but I know we're a part of it now, and that things are better that way. Oh, I have a friend nearby I'd like you to deliver something to. Could you drop by when you have the time? I'd appreciate it. The photographer, Dad would be proud. Dear Sam, I was right about the camera. I'm told the pictures I took were incredible. You see, the paintings of whales and dolphins I discovered in those caves might have been painted by Neanderthals. I don't really understand the significance of it all, but it's definitely what my father was looking for. I don't think I've ever been so happy in my entire life, and it's all because of you. Dad would be happy too, I'm sure of it. Thank you so much. I know I nearly gave my mum a heart attack, but this proves it was worth it in the end, right? I made a difference for once, and I can do it again. There may be other secrets of the Death Stranding hidden nearby. I'll be more careful this time, but I have to get back out there and find them. I'll be in touch when I do. The doctor, connections keeping us alive. The medical terminal and bioprinter appear to be functioning as intended. The Mountaineer's wife should now be able to receive the treatment she needs, thank goodness. Did you know that it was my better half who designed both these devices? The medical terminal uses hologram technology, and the bioprinter was built upon existing chiral printer tech. The difference, of course, being that this model can be used to synthesize medicines and organic compounds. My partner used to enjoy life in the city. She worked as a researcher there. But when I proposed moving out here to provide medical care for preppers, she was happy to follow me. How fortunate for us all, as preppers cannot survive in complete isolation, and neither can I. There's not much of a point in being a medical professional if you have no one to tend to. Indeed, we need to forge and maintain connections of all kinds, and that's just what you're helping us to do with your deliveries by expanding the chiral network. Make no mistake, the bonds between us make us stronger. But you already knew that, didn't you? Philip North, you took the bastards out. Sam, I heard you took care of the terrorists in this area. How the hell did you manage that? I mean, those guys have got guns and God knows what else, and they wouldn't hesitate to shoot you dead. I can't believe you took them on, but I'm glad you did. You really are the great deliverer. Thanks to you, I've started making a few deliveries again, getting back into the porterway. Looks like the distribution network will be back to normal before long. The Mountaineer, watch out for the whiteout. Yes, sent whilst I was in the middle of the fucking whiteout. Hey, Sam, I hope this gets through to you. The weather took a turn for a worse a little while ago. No way! And it's gone full whiteout. Zero visibility up here in the mountain. I hope you weren't caught in it as well. If it's not too late, I suggest keeping an eye on the weather forecast and steering clear. Limited visibility is not the only issue with whiteouts, you know. You lose spatial awareness and can't gauge distances. Hell, sometimes you literally can't tell up from down. Pretty scary stuff. With your gear, though, you shouldn't be completely helpless, and you can use your map to plot a route to your destination. This will show up whenever you use the Odrodex cargo scanner to ping your surroundings, even if you can't literally see them. If you lose your way, try switching to compass mode to confirm your destination. That way you can at least orient yourself in the direction you need to go. Above all else, don't panic. It's easy to lose your head in a whiteout, but if you can stay calm, you'll be absolutely fine. Good luck, Sam. The Mountaineer, we had a boy, and do you have power gloves? Big news, Sam, we've just welcomed a new life into the world, a baby boy. Both him and the missus are doing fine. In fact, they're sleeping peacefully next to me as I write this message. I know you're a busy man though, so I won't go on and on about us. Besides, there's something else I've been meaning to tell you. I don't want to be presumptuous, and I know you're the best porter there is, but even you must have found it tough making deliveries up in these snowy mountains, right? Well, have you tried using power gloves? They can be a real game changer, let me tell you. If you lose your footing and start to slip, the gloves will help you catch yourself before you slide right off a cliff. They make decent weapons too if things get hairy. Just bear in mind that they drain your battery, so be sure to keep an eye on that. And hey, don't tell me you've never wanted to rock a set of metal claws like an action hero, Sam. You know, I've got a feeling you're going to be a real role model for my boy when he's older. Of course, it's down to all of us, myself included, to make the world a better place for him and future generations. I know you feel the same. Let's not let them down, Sam. The medical device engineer, the terminal only works because of the network. Thank you again for not only delivering that terminal of mine, but providing a network connection for it to function. Otherwise, it would have been no better than a box of circuits and solenoids. The network has made a difference in other ways as well. It's that much harder now for city doctors to ignore the sick out here for a start. Their manner, that out-of-sight, out-of-mind attitude towards the suffering beyond their walls drove my husband crazy, and was one of the reasons we moved in the first place. Without even a modicum of compassion or consideration, they demand people come into town to see them. And when those poor folks inevitably couldn't make the trip, corpse disposal ended up with more bodies to burn. I couldn't help but be moved by his passion for his profession. Didn't think twice about joining him, or marrying him. I thought a great deal about what kinds of benefits the chiral network might bring, which led me to devise a terminal as a means of treating patients remotely. As he may have told you, we only have the one for now, but if it continues to perform well, and we can find the means to mass produce them, we could help a whole lot of people, but only if the network is there to provide support. So keep expanding it. It'll help in more ways than you can imagine. Mountain Guide, we've picked a name. Dear Sam, I thought I should let you know that our son is in good health, which is a relief because I was so nervous giving birth with just the two of us here. But the doc gave me great advice, and in the end, it felt like he was here in the room with us. I also wanted to say that if you hadn't shown up when you did, this baby of ours might not be here. I might not be here. The doc was a huge help, of course. There's no denying we owe so much to the generosity of many people, but it all began with you, which is why we're going to name him Sam. Aww. I pray that as he grows older, he'll bring people together just like you. And finally, from Aaron Hill, recovery request, Dead Man's stuff. Sorry to bother you, Sam. I know you must be busy. I wonder if you could go and fetch a few things of Dead Man's. You remember the cabin you arranged to meet at, right? Well, the cabin itself got blown away by the supercell, but Dead Man's winter coat and boots should be somewhere nearby. Could you go pick them up and bring them to Mountain Knot City? It's standard issue Bridges kit, but in a custom-made size. You could take the order at the delivery terminal at Mountain Knot City. It'd be great if you could help us out with this one. I know. Another day, another errand. But I hope you understand we're not just asking you to handle other folks' dirty work. No one else can do what you do. You realise that, don't you? Sure do, mate. Which leaves us with a few interviews. Cave paintings and stencils. Cave paintings provide an invaluable window into the lives of our ancestors, how they lived, what they experienced. Some have been preserved here on our continent, although most have sadly been lost in void-outs. The oldest cave paintings of all are believed to date back 64,800 years or more, but all of these are, or perhaps were, in Europe. What's become of them, I wonder? Have they too been obliterated in annihilation events? If not, are the caves containing them now infested with BTs? Does Europe still exist even? One cannot help but worry that these vital records have been forever lost to us, but I digress. These first paintings were likely made by the Neanderthals. They were crude depictions of creatures such as deer, bison and horses, interspersed with stenciled outlines of large hands. Some assert that these are signatures of primeval painters, but could they not also be depictions of BT handprints? Could our ancient relatives have been trying to tell us something, or issue a warning? Or is that perhaps one flight of fancy too far? I don't know, man. Here we go. All these prepper interviews. Oh god, I forgot about these. This is going to take a while. The photographer. It wasn't that long ago that we moved into this shelter, the three of us. Before that, we used to live in the city, until my husband up and said we had to leave. He was so insistent, and I didn't have any choice but to go along with it. I couldn't take care of our daughter by myself. He said he was sick of city life, and I can't say I don't understand at all. I mean, timefall may not have been an issue, or BTs, but I can see how a safe and comfortable life might become suffocating. Our daughter might be happy and healthy, but we're the exception. Hardly anyone's ever even having children these days. You don't need a crystal ball to see where the world's headed. My husband says we're bound for extinction, says nobody's doing anything about it. People would rather stick their heads in the sand and try to wait out the storm. If we don't figure out the Death Stranding and fix this world of ours, that's all she wrote. My husband says that a lot. That maybe he's just a guy with a camera, but at least he's doing something, and so on. He's out again somewhere, investigating something. Recently, he started taking our daughter with him, teaching her to take photos of rocks and murals and the like. I'm glad they're spending time together, and I know it's good for her education, but I still hate it when they go out and leave me here to wait and pray that they come home safe and sound. Oh, one day he didn't. Feels bad. The Mountaineer. People aren't meant to stay cooped up inside or live in one place forever. It's not natural. Exploration's in our DNA. The great outdoors is where we're supposed to be. You know our ancestors started out in Africa, right? Well, they didn't just stay there, did they? They wanted to try and find a better life, a better home. That's why humanity spread all across the planet. And as we've travelled, we've evolved. Little by little, we've grown tougher and smarter. Even our immune systems have become stronger. But if we stop moving, stop exploring, that all stops too. We stagnate as a species, maybe even regress. That's why we can't hole up in the cities. There's a whole universe beyond those chiral clouds that I'd love to explore someday. But if that's not possible, then I want to at least get as close as I can. Climb the biggest mountains, go as high as I can go, and try and see what lies beyond. And I want to do it with the love of my life. The world-class mountaineer who showed me the beauty of this place, my guiding star. Together there's no peak we can't summit. Wow. The spiritualist. No one has ever been able to explain the Death Stranding, and I doubt anyone ever will. Certainly not with science. Science is only suitable for observation, measurement, objectivity. You can observe and measure as much as you like, but it will bring you no closer to an understanding. Sometimes you need to expand your mind and open your heart, seek the souls of the dead, listen for the waves on the beach. In antiquity, there were no barriers between the realms. People moved freely between the earth, outer space, and the world of the dead. What are myths and legends if not records of these journeys? My research has only confirmed this. The pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica, the Nazca lines, Stonehenge, all gateways built by humans in order to access the beach. Surely you can see that the wisdom of the ancients has never been more relevant. And the doctor. I know what you're thinking. Why is this prepper claiming to be a doctor? Don't worry, you're not the first. Rest assured that I really am a doctor. I even have a medical license, though the governing body that issued it to me is long gone, so I won't be offended if that counts for little. But license or no, people still need doctors. Preppers get sick too, you know. That's not so hard for you to get your head around, is it? Most folks haul themselves to a city hospital when there's something wrong, but out in the boonies, that's not really an option. But we can't just leave those people to die. You know full well what would follow. And so I do what I can to help. Around here, I'm the only one people can rely on to keep them alive. Whenever I'm needed, I try to find someone to transport me to a patient's residence, but that's hardly the most efficient approach, and it doesn't endear me to the porters either. I've heard that Bridges is trying to bring everyone into their chiral network. If it's as good as I've heard, it would be a real game changer. I could perform all sorts of diagnoses and even some treatments without having to leave my shelter. I hope you manage to extend it here soon. There's a lot of people out there counting on us both. And finally, from the report on the Void Out in Manhattan 1. Recorder unknown, recording date and time unknown. Interesting. Who the hell? Those were the doctor's final words. At the time, no one knew to whom he was referring, and to be fair, there were more pressing issues at hand. The doctor in question was a surgeon specialising in caesarean sections. The procedure he was undertaking at the time, however, was slightly unusual, in that he was operating on a mother who had been declared brain dead 7 months into her pregnancy. Clifford's wife, maybe? She had been placed on life support, but since her blood pressure was decreasing and the fetus was showing signs of bradycardia, the decision was made to operate. Because the procedure was broadcast to medical researchers on a closed circuit network, we are fortunate to have a record, that's a typo, we are fortunate to have a record of what took place. Per the footage, the incision was made without incident. The plan was apparently to remove the fetus from the womb and immediately place it in an NICU, where it would receive the necessary care. Prior to this, the surgeon would of course have to cut the umbilical cord. This is the moment that changed everything. The moment the surgeon's hand touched the cord. In that instant, he uttered his infamous last words. Who the hell? Number 2. Following a number of tests and experiments, the conclusion was reached that this incident was an annihilation event brought about by the doctor's contact with whatever, or whomever, he had seen upon touching the umbilical cord. Though it eventually became apparent that the doctor had been referring to BTs, at the time no one could explain the underlying cause of the incident. Some later theorized that if the same conditions, brain-dead mother, fetus, umbilical cord, could be recreated, then BTs could be detected, and the mystery of the Death Stranding would be solved. Indeed, this was the theoretical basis upon which the government's own experiments and investigations would be conducted. They called the fetuses they used bridge babies, and the experiments became known as the BB experiments. Soon after the government's program got underway, the tragedy of Manhattan occurred. Okay, so that one wasn't Clifford's then, because they'd have all died if they were in the room together. Number 3. The BB experiments were conducted at a Manhattan-based government facility in such extreme secrecy that little is known about them to this day. One thing we do know for certain, however, is that the experiments ended in tragic failure, and were directly responsible for the total annihilation of the island of Manhattan, as well as the death of the president who'd been observing operations firsthand. He was succeeded by then Vice President Bridget Strand, who, shortly after her inauguration, put an end to all further BB experiments and had all data destroyed. With her strong and steadfast leadership in the wake of the Void Out, she made great strides in quelling the chaos and unrest that had spread throughout the nation. She vowed to rebuild America, and devoted herself wholeheartedly to this end. In response, separatists who opposed Reconstruction emerged and steadily grew more aggressive in their activities. One faction even managed to acquire documents relating to the BB experiments, and some speculate that this data was used to restart them in secret. At that time, however, no BB units are known to have been successfully created, and BBs in general remained a taboo subject in government circles. There we have it. A lot of reading there. Oh man, hope you enjoyed it. This is great. I love it. I love it so much. Wish I could play more right now, but unfortunately, I cannot. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, if you could leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the videos around, share the playlist around if you can. I would really appreciate that. And I will see you next time for more Death Stranding when we hopefully finally head to Hartman. Thanks for watching. See you then.